Are we ready?
Yep. You want to count us in?
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey, YouTube! We're here
There
on
was
a
no
Sunday.
clap. Do the clap
Yeah, but
again.
it was on
there.
time with the clap in the song, so it was fine.
Ah.
All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll do it one more time. Okay. No. So
that one worked.
that one worked. Okay. Welcome YouTube. Hello Twitch in the back end. Keep your mouth shut. We got things to do. But YouTube, hello. Welcome to the Morning After Music show, where we are doing our album Rochambeau show. Right. So this is an album review. It happens to be a retro album this week, and it was Brett's pick. Tourist History by Two-Door Cinema Club. Yeah, super. So we're going way back, 2010, bruh, 11 years ago.
It's so weird to think, dude.
Damn it.
I know, we're
It's
old as fuck.
Like,
Um,
oh, we're going so far back. It's like, oh, it was only 2010. Like, what?
I know. Back in the day, we were all, entering first year of college at that point, finishing up school, high school, right around that area for us. Tell us when 2010 was for you in the comments down below. And while you're at it, click the thumbs up button. Can't click the thumbs down anymore. So if you want to say we suck, you have to type it.
You can. They're just not showing the ratio anymore. You can see the ratio on the back end. Yeah, that's what YouTube's doing. They'll still have the thumbs up, thumbs down, but in order to avoid that people from like thumbs down bombing videos, like a lot of their videos, ironically, they're hiding that percentage. But you can see it on the back end, so you can still see all the hate.
So do it anyways. I'm fine with that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Make sure you subscribe to us, follow us, do all the good things. If you want to hang out live, come over to the Twitch side, because we do a pre-show where we talk about the news, and we do an after show where we listen to new music for this show specifically. So come do that. But right now, you're watching Album Rochambeau show, a nice little segment where we break down albums that have come out either in the last week or so, or like this one, a retro one, 10 years back. So yeah, Brett, it was your choice. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit what you thought and why'd you pick it.
Yeah.
What I thought and why did I pick?
What connects to you, bro?
Not the full review part, but why'd you pick it?
Oh, I picked it just mainly because I was wanting something different than metal, because we tend to do that a lot.
Sure.
So I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I was feeling kind of in a bouncier mood lately, and this is super bouncy kind of music.
Good.
Is it because you're about to bounce out of Austin?
Yeah, bro. You ain't depressed anymore. You're getting the fuck
three
out.
fucking weeks.
Shit. Wait,
Yeah,
Texas happy as fuck.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready to go on that one. But yeah, I just wanted something
Nostalgia
more upbeat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia. Yeah, of course.
It's fun. Okay.
All right. Well then, gentlemen, let's look at some of the. Let's open your history textbooks to page 268, please.
I can't read.
No. Two-Door Cinema Club Tourist History was their debut album. It debuted on February 17th, 2010. So fucking long ago.
Yep.
By this time, my GPA in college had dropped from 3.8 to probably about, at this point, a 1.7. I stopped.
We almost didn't graduate high school, essentially, right at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not the lowest it would go. That's what I'm saying. At this point in February, I still had hope in the second semester. I sometimes went to my philosophy class, but it was way too early in the morning, so that wasn't gonna work out.
I learned that one very quickly as well. Don't get an 8 a.m. class.
No. What's that? I don't have mom kicking in the door 3 times to wake me up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not going. It's 10 tracks long, coming in at 32 minutes and 30 seconds. Very short album.
Quick, yeah.
Yeah, that's a quick one.
Surprisingly so, honestly. It was produced by a chap called Elliot James, who has also worked with the Kaiser Chiefs, the Future Heads.
Makes sense.
Noah and the Whale. Does It Offend You? Yeah. And was the recipient of the 2011 MPG Breakthrough Producer of the Year Award. assumingly for this album.
Bro, he's got that miles per gallon. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, miles per gallon breakthrough producer. The singles off this album were Something Good Could Work, I Can Talk, Undercover Martin, Come Back Home, and What You Know. It was recorded at East Coast Studios in London in 2009 in a studio adjacent to one Duran Duran, who was recording their 13th album, All You Need Is Now. That's pretty neato.
Wow. That's cool.
It was mixed by Philippe Zendar, a French guy, in his newly built studio, second only to Phoenix after recording their debut, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. So, hey, you said earlier before we went live for YouTube that it sounded like Phoenix. There you go. That's why.
Yep.
That 70s like dancey guitar stuff.
Big fat bass. Zendar was one part of a French synth pop duo called Cassius, and reportedly found it hard to understand the band's Irish accents the first few days, but said their stuff was already tight, and I was just able to give it big bass, big highs, and something a bit large. Yep. And that's true. This
solid dance
debut album. This is a very well sounding album.
It doesn't sound like a debut album.
No, it doesn't.
No. It sounds polished.
Mm-hmm. It received generally positive reviews at the time. BBC Music described the album as showing, quote, sporadic flashes of greatness, and compared the album to The Editors, Foals, and The Future Heads. I wonder why. It debuted at number 46 on the UK albums chart with 5,000 copies sold in the first week, eventually peaking at number 24 on the UK albums chart in May of 2011. So it took a little while. It took a whole year.
This was before the streaming stuff. Okay, People had to buy stuff back then.
Yeah, but it also shows you, like, hey, it stayed in the charts for a full year in the UK. That's pretty good. You know, it also peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Heat Seekers list and 26 on the Billboard Independent Albums. It was certified platinum on July 22nd, 2013, and has sold 340,000 copies in the UK as of November of 2016.
Solid.
There you go. Now, Brett.
Hello.
Tell us more.
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot to say on this one. It's just I really liked listening to this album when it came out. We were kind of talking beforehand, like how much this influenced our music when we were in bands back then. It's just, I don't know. I like this album. I know it's a specific sound. It's a niche for sure. But it's
like neo disco.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Like, I don't know. It's just, I always felt like it's a really good time. It's a really good listen. It gives you really good positive vibes, and we don't listen to a lot of that kind of stuff on the rig.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's usually pop punk, standard punk, and metal. Like, what else?
Everybody's talking about how much they hate their lives. Like,
I know. It's very emo.
It's a little bit of mix up.
Right.
Change it up. But yeah,
what's some of your favorite moments on here, if you got any, like any favorite guitar lines or bass parts? Or
What You Know was a pretty big one for me. It was one of the first songs I had made sure I tried to learn every instrument on. Just I don't know, we jammed it a lot. I was moving in with a drummer at the time, and this was his favorite band. He would not shut the hell up about these guys. And so, like, we just had, it was me and him. I was on bass, he was playing drums. We just start jamming this shit all the time. It'd be 3 a.m. We'd be playing.
I feel like this music specifically coming from like what we listened to in high school, like you could make so many jokes. Oh yeah, bassist doesn't exist. You literally are just hitting one string. Or in punk rock, right? It's very bass chordy, just one fucking note, right? This is like the first time we actually got into music where, like, Manchester was around this time as well. Death Cab for Cutie. And now this band, like, you could actually have a bass part and actually play something.
Yep.
Right? So I think that was a big point there.
I think I was starting to for me personally, I was really starting to dive into Muse around this time as well.
Yeah, same.
Which his Chris is an amazing bassist.
Yeah, I think it was just a nice shift. Like, we still like that stuff, but I think it was good to expand our horizons. We were still studying our instruments in this time because we thought we were going to do something with our lives.
Yeah.
But like, we were still studying, so it was like, this was a great, hey, this is a new class we're going to, right? A whole new genre of music that allowed us to, I'm going to learn how to my instrument a little more, right? You know?
Honestly, though, too, like, this was the beginning of our hipster phases.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Like,
I wore a lot of beanies around then.
Dude, beanies, it was plaid or flannel fucking button-ups, khaki shorts or pants, and some Toms. Like,
yeah, Toms.
That's what you did.
I was still rocking flip-flops for a while, but that's because
I still did. I mean, it's fucking Florida, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you know is a good, you know, representative of this album. Like, that's
I think
probably
so too.
their most popular track.
I would say it's the most popular, but it's also like what you said. It's, if you want to just get a quick idea of what this whole album is, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for sure. And also the music video, like we were talking about before, very fun. And I think this was indicative of the times too. Just a lot of music videos around then where they actually put some time and effort into them because people had to watch them to experience the music. Yeah. It's like, you know, you didn't just open up Spotify and listen to whatever you want. It's like you had to go on YouTube. Oh, I like this band. Oh, I'm gonna go buy the CD now. Right? So like, I think it was very
more accurately buy the MP3s or just steal them.
Sure.
Yeah, I say LimeWire is still big then.
I mean, but yeah, by then we were all still using iTunes as our main listening format.
MySpace was still kind of relevant.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was dying, but it was there.
It was dying, yeah, but it was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brett, I have another second question for you as a musician. I know that dance beats are one of the fun things you like to do on drums in particular.
Yes.
Being how they just use a drum machine or whatever for this one to make the dance beats. How do you like playing these songs? I know you probably play at least some of them.
I do, yeah. This is where that love of the dance beat when I'm playing on drums. Mm-hmm. This is where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something about just kind of it's sure it sounds simple. You know, it doesn't sound like there's actually a lot going on, but when you start actually like paying attention,
breaking it down,
and like especially with the rest of these guys, what they're playing pretty intricate parts. Like it's not, it's sure it kind of repeats because it's pop music is going to, but there's a lot of hidden layers to these parts that you just don't expect when you hear something like this.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of you'll hear a lot of like, you know, syncopations and different patterns going on within the hi-hat and the snare that like, as you're just kind of jamming along to it, you just hear the normal dance beat. But as you start listening to it, you're like, oh, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too, you know, coming from a musician standpoint, it's the first time you really listen to something that isn't on the beat, right? Like the hi-hat's always on the end, right? If it's keeping time, which is weird, it usually doesn't happen. You get the 4 on the floor with the bass drum, but it also sometimes follows the bass guitar, and the bass guitar is throwing down.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's great.
Right, so I will say it is programmed drums, and that's unfortunate because if it had a live drum recording, I think we would have felt, at least me personally, I would have felt more connected to it, and I think it would have been fun to see what that guy was actually doing, because like when you see him live or you've seen a video play live, so somebody's doing it. It's like,
I'm gonna disagree with you though. I like that it's not real drums for this, because that's what kind of gives it the extra vibe of this is different than, you know, the Vampire Weekends and shit. Like that's what kind of helps it get towards that like actual dancey vibe. You know, is that it's fast, because like the program drums, because like the next album that has a Sleep Alone or whatever on it, those are all slowed down songs.
Yeah, they're definitely not as fast as this.
They're not as upbeat as these are.
This is like at a club BPM.
Yeah. That's why
right.
I kind of like this one. Even out of their stuff, this is still like the one that stands out.
Yeah, I wonder if a human being, you know, at least the one they chose for the second album, couldn't keep up. for stuff
I'm sure
like
they
this.
could keep up, but
sure yeah, it's
for like that being that they're basing it off of like electronic sound, and they have an electronic guy doing the mixing and all that stuff. You're not gonna get a better metronome than a computer, like
True.
so
True.
to nail all those dance beats perfectly, and just you're playing to the metronome at that point, you're just sitting in the pocket.
True.
All right, Josh, what were your thoughts on the album as a whole?
Yeah, so listening back to it, obviously nostalgia hit me pretty heavy there. Just kind of brought back to like, damn, I want to pull my guitar out and I want to start playing some songs again. So I felt that, like, the memorability aspect of it, like all of it started rushing back. I was like, holy shit, I stole that guitar riff and I stole that guitar riff, right? Like that was just me there. I would say, the lyrics are really interesting. He's telling a story, but I don't really know who that story's for. I think that's I don't know what he's trying to say, but he's doing something there.
That's
young and his
storytelling right there.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of generic, but it's also a little too in at the same time. So I didn't know how to feel exactly. I couldn't connect to whatever the hell he was talking about, and I don't think it mattered because I really wasn't listening to the lyrics. I was listening to the melodies he was adding with his vocal, and obviously with the nice chord work that he was doing. Is kind of that disco-y thing that I was saying earlier, along with the lead lines, just super fun. Production sounded great. I think for a debut, we've listened to a few debuts in our retro wall, and they're ass. Right? Like it's like they recorded that shit with like they directed in, right? They just plugged in and went for it. Right. Like this one, they got the money and they made a really good album.
British,
so good for them. Yeah, true. Probably old.
They care more a little bit,
right?
Yeah.
And I think as far as originality goes for this band, at least at that time, I really had never heard anything like it, and I think that's why I gravitated to it so much. Yes, there was plenty of bands that came after it, or maybe it was around that same time that maybe I didn't pick up on before this group that were doing very similar things. You totally could hear Matt and Kim in this. You can hear Phoenix in this. You can hear stuff like that. Especially in this time period, this 2010 to 2013 was huge in this kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like this band stuck out to me because it was different. It felt so different and more fun. So that's kind of where I am there in this. Mm-hmm. And then I mentioned before that I think it would have been cooler to see a drummer do like riffs in the music. But I also see your point where you said it would take away from the dance grooves if he started doing fills in the music. Yeah, it doesn't work. It really just needs to be on it. Give me the dance beat, play off of the lead lines a little bit, and like the up-picking guitar work that he's doing and the bass. Let them have their moment. You don't need to do a fill here. And I kind of agree with you, even though I want to see what it would sound like.
Yeah. No, just watch him live. Well,
True.
Yeah, true.
Very true. That's me on that.
Okay. For me, when I looked at the track list, I was like, I don't remember any of. Like, I know a couple from the singles and all that stuff, but like,
right.
I didn't think I remembered as much as like what I actually ended up remembering, like while I was listening to it. Like it's surprising that all 5 of these singles from a band that I didn't really like seek out a lot. But I always enjoyed when I did hear them come on, like Pandora, or when Jordan played them, or 7X, for instance. I do remember a lot of these singles a lot, and they're very solid, and I remember the melodies and all that stuff. Not so much the words and the lyrics, because like you said, it all just kind of bleeds together a little bit. But I do remember liking this album a whole lot. Even throughout all those years of just hearing the songs randomly, it reminds me a lot of the last time 97X was like really, really good and pushing new music and all that stuff.
Yep.
And I think like this album in particular really kicked off that next decade of the 2010s, with a bunch of copycats following, like Bare Hands, like Big Data, Mute Math, Capital Cities, and all that stuff. This album was kind of paved the way for all those bands to come out and find success for that time.
Yeah.
Between 2010 and say about 2014, 2015 ish.
Yeah. Even if their music wasn't super similar, it allowed a like highway that every indie group could get on and get to the same place.
Like you've kind of said a few times, it achieved what Vampire Weekend I don't think could. I know a lot of people like Vampire Weekend. I'm like Arcade Fire.
Yeah, people are gonna be pissed that we say that, but it's the truth.
But I mean, in my opinion, like those bands, they're not too weird. They're just not interesting. They seem too like pretentious. Like it's the stereotypical hipster,
Yes.
Yes. They're the original.
Oh, I'm better than you.
You know.
This was like, hey, we're indie and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna, we can dance to music that has guys playing guitars and that are Irish that look like they're 10 and still be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and we've already talked at length about how the musicianship between the people who are actual like real people. It sounds really basic at first, but then you start actually like hearing the bass parts and hearing the lead lines, and the melodies are very well crafted in the guitar works that match really well with the vocal melodies and everything. Makes it, very memorable. Like it's very hooky, very pop in that sense. My only complaint on this whole thing is that it's too short. I would like more songs, and it just kind of ends. Like both times I listened to it all the way through, it just ended, and the only reason I knew it had stopped was because it immediately played one of the singles afterwards on Spotify, right before it goes into the radio, and you could have added one more song and had like a big grandiose sounding finale song. That last song just it ends and it just kind of like, oh, that's it. Well, okay.
I think there's part of it that's the style, that's the dance way. Short, fast, fun,
bunch of tracks.
I'm now I'm tired. Let's goodbye.
Yeah, but like even that last song, the way it ends, it doesn't feel like it's a last song. Like putting together an album is like, something that usually thought process.
Yeah.
Here it just sounds like, hey, here's a collection of songs.
Yeah, the flow isn't perfect.
It doesn't have that finale sense to it.
Yeah, I almost feel like this band is extremely performative. Like they created a band so they could play. They didn't create a band so they could record. And I think that's where that mindset might be wobbly. It's like they didn't start this band so that they could make some albums. They I want to play these songs live and I want to see people dancing to it, and I want to have people have fun here.
Yep.
And you can tell it's like I'm just going to play these really fun songs, everyone's going to dance, I'm going to get the fuck off, and the bigger band's going to play after me, right? Yeah. Like I feel like that's where they kind of are, and now I guess they're the bigger band at festivals, even though I haven't really heard much about them since their first two albums.
Yeah, they kind of
but they're still playing music and they're still making music. It's just I don't know what happened to them.
Well, I think
I stopped looking for them.
Big part of it was that the scene changed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was a quick transition.
Sure.
It's like
pop indie trade change for like alt country indie.
Well, it got really folky and stuff.
Yeah.
The Monsters and Men definitely helped kick that off.
Yeah.
But we noticed it when we were doing our hipster bass shit. Like there was a handful of us that did it, and it was underground because there's only a few of us that did it, and then all of a sudden Urban Outfitters was the thing. And then everyone went there, it got mainstream, and then people died off because it was just a fad.
Yep.
Or they moved on rather to other things because the industry moved on, and the record exec said, hey, now we're doing Justin Bieber and shit. He's sexy now.
Yeah, and then they go into they get into the studio and help people make music now, essentially. I would assume.
Yeah.
Probably. Or just living off royalties,
True.
I'm sure they're
I'm sure they're still getting money from these singles.
On TikTok as well, they get paid for their little snippet. I hear their music sometimes randomly on TikToks.
They still have a little over 5.5 million monthly listens. Yeah, they're
and you know what? I will say, it usually happens with UK bands. they're probably on the radio a lot more in the UK.
Over there.
And
True.
you would hear their
American
more newer stuff as opposed to here, which is just
Dude,
Foo Fighters, baby.
look at how many listens are on What You Know.
400
How
mil?
much is that?
Almost 500 mil. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, makes sense.
It also tells you that this album is definitely their best because
That's
4
so
of that
iconic.
top 5 is,
Yep.
is this
Yeah.
album.
What's that green album? Is that the next one
Sleep Alone
with the
was
hand
next
sticking
one.
out or whatever that? Yeah.
it's-
it's Beacon.
That,
So
yeah.
a person. Yeah. Ballerina. So it looks like the first 2 albums right in their strongest time period of 2010 and 2012. Like that period of time was perfect for this type of music. And then literally look, 2016 was their next one, right? So they got a 4-year gap.
And
I
this
haven't heard
wasn't-
one fucking song
Yeah,
off
this
a
wasn't that good.
game show. And then False Alarm is their newest one. I know they're pushing that right now, or were.
Yeah.
Weird time to release an album. It's unfortunate for them, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I don't hate this group. Clearly, people are listening to them still. It's just, I don't know. In that time period, things shifted. So
Yeah. Jason in chat says that apparently their most recent album has better reviews than this one, although it's
Ooh.
nowhere near as big. Which I mean, I don't doubt. I'm sure this is
I
a
can
critics
actually
band
believe
now.
Yeah.
Like all the people who are hipster and didn't have jobs now have jobs and are still hipsters. So,
Yeah.
of course,
right.
But speaking of reviews, let's talk about them for this album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go around the
Um,
net.
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
go around the net. Let's go surfing USA. You know what I mean? Got 18 of these
Surfing
bad
UK.
boys. Surfing UK. We got 18 of these bad boys, so let me get through them real fast.
How many?
18.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot, and they are. Let me tell you, everywhere.
I believe that.
This is
is a-
all over the place.
I believe that.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. All Music has it at a 9. That's their user score, by the way. Their official score was a 7. Drowned in
Okay.
Sound. We're going with a 9 though, because user score stuff.
Yep. of course.
Drowned in Sound 7. Enemy 7. Q, the magazine, not the fake person that makes fascism, 6. RTE 6. State Magazine 6. The Times 6. User score on Metacritic 8.4. Okay, we're back up. Album of the Year user score 7.6. St. Joseph Square 9. Sputnik 7.2. There Goes the Fear 9.5.
Okay.
Rate Your Music
All right.
6.68. Now Magazine 8. Pop Matters 6. The Guardian 8. Music Ohm 10. They had a 4 out of 4, so that's a 10. And Motion Select 7. What do you guys think was the average? Going through all those.
Yeah,
And any thoughts?
yeah.
Any questions?
I think the there was no 5s, right? There was
6 is a little low.
6 is a little low,
6 is a little
but also
low.
9 is a little high. So
Yes,
maybe
I
those
agree.
balance each other out. I do think this is a solid average album. It should sit somewhere in the 7.5s, in my mind.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of 8s, though there was a lot of 6s. So it's going to be pulling a little bit in that 7th place.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna go.
69.
I'm gonna go 7.94.
Okay, so you're going a little closer to the 8s. I'm
that's
going.
my around the net guess.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna do this 7.5 ish area.
Josh, you are the closest. It is 7.47.
Really? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Fair enough.
It makes sense.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, let's add our fucking.
Yeah,
2
the
cents
ones that
into the
matter.
mix. Yeah, us.
Okay. Yeah. So let me just go down my little categories here. All very similar to what we were talking about. Kind of hitting in the averages. A couple of nice highlights here and there. So I said songwriting, lyrics. Like I said, didn't connect too much, but I still think they were fun. Fit a melody well. So 7.8. Musicianship, average. I would have given them an 8 if they had a drummer, but You know, we talked about that, kind of broke that down.
Yep.
7, right on the dot for me. Production, 8.4. It sounds really good for a debut. So good for them. Originality, yeah, 7.5, right on the average. They were kind of doing what other people were doing, but they had a little bit more, you know, to themselves, which kind of continued there, and I like that. Consistency, it's an indie band, and they did really well. And from this album to the next, didn't really change much. So consistent in my mind. Granted, I haven't listened to their newer stuff, but I would assume that they're not going too.
Yeah, you still know it's
far
too dark.
off. Right. And then memorability, like I said, when we got into that, I was like, shit, I remember all these damn songs.
Yeah.
So I gave them an 8 there. So with adding those all together, I get a little bit higher than average with a 7.71 for me.
Okay.
Yep, solid, right? A little more than in the middle. I think it fits well.
All right.
Shut up, Jason.
I'll go next. So I think this is a solid like high B to low A album if we're doing on like ranking and all that stuff. So I kind of in my head said, all right, let's start everything at a 7. I don't think anything's below a 7, so let's start at a 7.
Same.
And kind of gauge how I feel from there. Ended up being a lot more 8s than 7s. Songwriting and lyrics, while I can tell you off the top of my head a single for sure full stanza of a song from this album, I do remember all the melodies, and they're very catchy, and I really enjoy the major key of them all. You know, it's very positive. Sounds very bouncy, like you said. So I put that in an 8. Musicianship, I didn't nearly have as much issue with there being no drummer. In fact, I thought they did have a drummer, and they had the guitar was just recorded again, and they had a live guitarist. I didn't know they didn't have a drummer, so that was news to me. 8.4 for that, because the bass and the lead guitar really elevates everything up.
Sure.
The bass part's super fun. Because there's no drummer, it allows him to do super fun stuff like that. Production 8.5 sounds great. Sounds amazing for a debut.
Yep.
Sounds amazing for being 2010.
Yeah, bro.
It sounds better than half the shit that comes out after it, you know?
Yeah.
Originality 8. No, it doesn't do anything too crazy. It's just there, but it's there very well. And it did pave the way for a lot of other people, but for me personally, some of those other people, like, Minus the Bear, Bear Hands, another bear named band.
Abandoned by Bears.
Abandoned by Bears. Polar Bear Club.
Polar Bear Club, yep.
That's actually probably more fitting, honestly.
That is.
Do it slightly more interesting, so it's slightly better. But that's not saying it's bad. Consistency, this is the lowest score, 7.5, for the reasons I said. It just, because it ends. It could have been a little bit longer. One more song would have been fine. But memorability, 8.3. Like I said, surprised by how much I do remember off this one. Although it is just mostly the singles. Couldn't tell you now any of the ones that weren't singles how they go. But they sounded really good, and really like that horn section, I think, in the first song and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so all together, that came out to an 8.12.
Okay. And
Brett?
You made a good point. You made a good point there before, Brett. It's really, really funny and interesting. I can't remember a fucking single lyric, but every time I hear the song, I know them somehow.
No, you know I'm gonna find you.
I don't get it.
You're not up to... Yeah, you just mumble half of it, but you know the little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I can talk. No.
So, Cody, what was your score?
8.12.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, I don't remember every single one I did.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
You
no
never
worries.
do.
It's
You did.
it's-
Yeah.
By the time it gets to me, it's like, all right, well, whatever. We get it. But yeah, lyrics, don't remember much of them. I can still sing along. I don't give a shit. Musicianship, I was a little higher on it than you guys because of the parts that I was playing. I enjoyed it. The production, I also gave a higher score because other than the drums, I didn't really see anything wrong with it. You know, it sounds great in the car, sounds great on the computer speakers, the sound bar. It's all I need. It's perfect. You know,
solid.
it wasn't, I didn't give it a 10, but it was up there. Originality, I thought it was pretty damn original. You know, in the sense of like, sure, of course, every band's kind of inspired by the next one, but I can still, you can play any Two-Door song and I'm going to be, that's Two-Door immediately. Yeah, for
sure.
I'll never
you don't
second guess that.
Yeah, there's no confusion at all.
The closest thing I think you'd get is maybe Postal Service. Maybe.
Kind of,
yeah. Yeah, kind of.
I would see them go on tour together, yeah. But still, like, you know it's
so
Two-Door
unique
every time. Consistency, I was also a little higher on that just because throughout the album, the whole time, the songs are fairly similar. Yeah, it's just dance beat shit. And memorability, I remember everything. I remember this shit. I played this album so many fucking times. I remember this shit. But I didn't overgrade it. You know, I was still kind of realistic. So that's why it's really interesting that, Cody, you got an 8.12 because I got an 8.12.
No way!
Yep.
Get it, chat. We have our
Holy
first time.
shit.
I'll even show.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a first.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's funny.
Wow. That's so great. Jason, if you spoil the fucking average,
I said,
before
get
I
out
was able to do my bit.
Actually, I was gonna say,
math.
I feel like a 7.9 makes sense. I was gonna actually mention that. It could be because mine's a little lower. It might pull to like 7.85 or something like that.
So yeah,
So it's
let's
hard
see.
to, I mean, it's also with the two of us getting the same damn score.
Yeah.
That's a fairly easy one to guess.
Okay.
That's
so.
funny.
It's not what Jason said. No one do math. It's a math-free zone. It offends Josh. Okay. He only lets me do it because he knows me and he feels comfortable with the mathematics happening around him. Anyway, it's not what Jason said, so it's fine.
That's his guess.
Brett, if you want to pull up the wall of retro, we can just find out where it goes, and then we can guess what the average is.
Look at that.
What are you thinking?
Nice.
It's the new number 6.
I think it's the new number 6. So you're thinking it is above Hawthorne Heights.
Yeah, it's not going to beat 8.4,
Yeah.
and it's definitely higher than 7.7.
Okay. Brett, do you agree?
Oh, yeah, completely.
Okay, you did get that one correct. It is the new number 6.
So if it's not
Right in the middle.
7.9,
Come
I'm
on.
gonna guess 7.87.
Yeah, 7.87.
7.87.
That's
Okay,
my
what
guess.
about 7.87? Josh, what about you?
I said 7.9 before. So that was my guess.
7.9.
On the dot.
Right on the dot.
On the dot?
Mm-hmm.
Josh, you are the closest. It is a 7.9. What are we thinking?
3.
8.
Oh, shit! Almost an 8.
Damn.
Almost
an 8. So there you
I don't know
go.
math
Damn.
at all.
That's pretty good though.
That's
Yeah,
very
that's a good score for that. I can see that.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely not better than 4 Year Strong. It is better
It's
than probably the rest.
Definitely
of the
better than for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Good
Apparently
job.
not during
Tudor.
grade though. Apparently we were wrong about that one.
Yeah, we were wrong about during
Apparently,
grade.
you were very switch that 8 and that 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the 4 and the 6. Who the fuck knows?
God, no. Could you imagine if we only gave it a 4.8?
Outrage.
Christ.
Fucking outrage.
We might get more views then.
Didn't remember.
No, fucking put a 1 in front of it. It's a 16.8. According to
It's
the
on
internet.
another level. We just didn't get it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh shit! But good job, Tudor. That was fun. That was a good one.
That was a
nice
fun
pick,
week.
Brett. Very good pick.
All right.
It's my pick now.
It is Josh's pick. It is
my
a
pick.
new album.
Yes.
So, what were you thinking?
All right. So in my head, I was going back and forth. We talked about it, how there was a couple things that coming out this week, and over the last week or so that we haven't listened to.
Silent Planet.
I totally forgot about this one.
Silent Planet.
I kind of want to listen to it. And we're not listening to that.
Silent Planet.
That could be yours next time. Okay.
It will be.
I want to do. Okay. Every Time I Die's new album.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
Because it's perfect timing.
I loved all of the singles so far. Those were super fun. Andy Hull's in one of them, so that's fucking cool, right? So I'm super excited for that. I want to do that one.
We will not have to. We can't do the show on Sunday. We'll probably have to do it next Monday because I'll be at Every Time I Die next Sunday.
Cool.
That's
so
perfect timing.
You can give a little insight onto how it sounds live.
Yeah. So the next show will probably have to be probably on that Tuesday.
That Tuesday?
You work on Monday?
I work on. Oh wait, Monday the 22nd.
Yep.
I'll have to check when I go in because this is not an updated schedule, but I might be off. I'm probably not though. Let's just assume I'm not.
Okay.
Follow our Discord, YouTube, and chat, and you will know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll tell you on there. Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks for hanging out, YouTube. We're gonna go listen to music now and probably get sad. I don't know. Make sure you click all the things. Click the things. Subscribe to us, please.
What's your favorite two-door song?
Yeah, tell us. If you want to hear something specific, put it in the comments. Maybe we'll look at it and be like, hey, that's a good idea. We'll add that to the show. Or join our Discord. There's a link down below somewhere. And hang out with us on Twitch and tell us to do things like Jason does. Okay? And we can, incentivize you to come hang out with us. It's fun over there. We're going to go listen to music. We'll catch you around. See ya.
Bye-bye.